Hi guys, thanks for watching the video. Today I am hauling some gear to my canvas tent, just prepping things before any real construction can begin. I had some cordwood back at my old campsite and some lying around my house, so I'm hauling that back here, and I'm going to sort out what I can use for actual construction and what I can use to have a fire while I'm here over the winter. I just wanted to talk about how I'm getting it out here. In case you're wondering what this contraption is, this is actually an old canoe cart that Bill and I had made for some trout fishing trips. So in this video clip here, you can see Bill, Pierce, and I doing a cart path in Algonquin Park. It's a 9-kilometer cart path. And having a cart really helps getting our gear all the way to the next lake. It's a fairly smooth cart path except for the last 1.5 kilometers. If any trout fishers in Ontario know what I'm talking about, they know the last 1.5 kilometers to Dixon Lake is a pretty tough climb.
I think since we crash landed in the Dagobah system, our search for Yoda has continued in the cedar swamps. Being such a small, strange little man, he's very difficult to find. We're going to keep going this way. Hopefully the Empire doesn't find us. We can either come upon a rebel base or Yoda. We'll be good.
Sounds like a plan. Here's our gear. That is no X-Wing fighter, I can tell you that.
It was.
But getting there is actually fairly smooth, and having a cart makes it a lot easier. We used to rent carts when we first started doing that trip, and then we got the idea to build our own. This one's a little heavy duty. It's got some motorcycle tires on it, and it worked really well. We don't do that trip all the time. We started to mix it up years ago. The video clip that you just saw is probably about 7 years old. I think Pierce was just 10, and I think that might have been his first trip to come trout fishing with me, just like I take Griff now. And we use this. So this thing was actually in my father-in-law's barn for years, and I've been using my deer cart for some of my trips to haul some stuff around. But the deer cart is not strong enough to carry some of the heavy supplies that I'm going to need for this project. So just to give you an idea, this heavy cordwood here, I would never be able to carry a whole lot on my deer cart. It's got thin, small, hard, plastic wheels on it. These motorcycle tires the diameter is a lot wider. It goes over the soft terrain and bumpy terrain a lot easier. And with the axle, it's a very heavy-duty steel axle. So I built this little bed. I'll show you what I did here. And I didn't want to modify it. I could cut it up and make it a little more practical, I guess, for what I'll be doing, carrying wood. But then if I ever wanted to use it for a deer cart again, it wouldn't really work for that. So I started looking at it, and I thought I could still modify it to do what I'm doing and still keep it as a deer cart without hacking the metal down and changing the makeup of it. So basically I have a tiny little wood platform here that it's about 2 feet extended from the axle. So basically I have a 4-foot platform that I can load all the wood on, and if I balance it right, all the weight is over the axle. So really I just have to hold on to the handle, and once I get momentum going, it actually goes through the bush fairly easily. So I'm going to use this for the cordwood. I'm going to use this eventually for all the stone. I got some timbers and big pieces of wood that I've acquired, and I'll be able to use that to maybe put one end on the axle and hold the other end by my arm and drag it out here. I don't have an ATV, and I can't get my truck back here, so the idea of this is to do it inexpensively. And again, buying an ATV kind of defeats the purpose there, right? So I'm literally going to haul all this gear from my truck into the woods here. For my truck, it's about less than 1 kilometer to get out here, which isn't the end of the world, but I'm not looking forward to hauling the stone and that sort of thing out here. So I just thought I'd show you this. I'll get all the wood off here, and I'll show you exactly what it's all about and how I'll be using it. So this is just the start of the log cabin build, and we'll be doing a cordwood cabin if you've just tuning in, and we'll go through that. But right now I'm just setting up my canvas tent. I'll be living out here all winter and prepping the site, and hopefully construction really gets going by early spring. So stay tuned. So this wood platform is not really attached to this with anything except gravity, and I'll show you, I'll flip it over and I'll show you how I did this. So I just used some 2x lumber that I had in my garage. And basically a 2x8, a couple of 2x6s. This is some deck board, and this is the axle right here. So really this is just sitting on the axle, and what keeps it from sliding is the notch on the front of that. So what I do if I want it off, I just give that a little push. You see how the axle is right there. Now if I pull it this way, you can see how this is just sitting in here. You can see how this is just sitting in here. And then, out it comes. And this is the original canoe cart. We will run our straps over top of the canoe, put the canoe this way, and down the path we go with the canoe on top and some of our gear in it. So I didn't really want to cut this up. It's still very usable as a canoe cart. So to put it back on, just do this. This goes in here. I have to put the notch in. I have to put this in first. This will slide in here, and then this goes down. And Bob's your uncle. So I just thought I'd share that with you. You're going to see a lot of this cart during this project. I'm going to be using this next to haul some wooden pallets that I've found, and I've scavenged from different shops and industrial areas that I've been driving around trying to collect. And using those pallets, I'm going to build some furniture for the inside of my tent, because I'm going to be here all winter. I'm going to be living in that tent at times, so I want to be comfortable. I'm going to be building a chair, and a desk, a table, and some shelving for all my gear while I'm out here. So stay tuned. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe for more videos. This is going to be a pretty cool project. I'm really excited about it, and I'd love for you to join me. Cheers. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, we're going that way,
we're
boy.
going right, left.
Well, this is our third trip up here. We've had to lighten the canoe. This is a tough stretch.
You know, at least we're going downhill with the wheels.
Thank God.
And it's a lot lighter.
So as you can imagine, this is pretty tricky.
Yeah, you know what I looked at the video last year is that it really didn't give a true picture of the
No,
terrain.
God, no.
Because like you tend to point the camera up.
Exactly.
Like if you put the camera level, you're looking into the side of the hill.
Exactly, look at that.